Hello and welcome to episode 322 of the Casual Tryhard Podcast. I'm
And
Brian,
I'm James.
and we are going to talk about some hot off the presses arena news
Yeah,
and
news that I wasn't even aware of.
maybe laugh at Wizards a little bit.
Sure.
And then we're going to try to build another deck around, what is he called? Kheru Goldkeeper?
Kheru Goldkeeper. Yeah, we talked about it during our set review episode a little bit. And I had fun last time we brewed a deck together. It's not something we get to do very often. So I figured we'd do it again.
Sounds good. So we are, again, in the brief lull in between sets. And as a now expert in Final Fantasy,
Yep.
having beat Rebirth now,
Congratulations.
I will be able to give you all of the best information for the Final Fantasy set when it drops.
Yeah, coming soon, I think.
Coming, yeah, real soon. But until then, if you have show ideas, things you want us to talk about, just want to say hey, reach out. Facebook, Discord, X, Blue Sky, email, all those links are in the description. Say hey, program the show, let us know what you want us to talk about.
Absolutely.
All that jazz.
Yeah, hit us up. We love hearing from you. If you're looking to support the show, there's two ways you can do it. The first is our TCG player affiliate link, CasualTryHard.com/TCG. Surf on over there, do whatever magic shopping you're going to do and support the show at the same time. Doesn't cost you anything extra. There's no surcharge for supporting the show. It comes out of their end, and it helps us out. You get to buy whatever cards you're going to buy and support the show at the same time. So we would appreciate it if you did that. The second way is with our Patreon, patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG. Surf on over there, chip a couple bucks into the pot. In return, you'll get access to my show notes, so you get kind of a sneak peek about what the week's episode is going to be about. And you also get access to roughly another hour of content out of us every week in the form of our unshow. We live half a country apart now, and we're old, so sometimes our equipment doesn't work. We like to spend a little bit of time before every show making sure not all of, but as many bugs as we can get ironed out beforehand, and also catch up. Today we went a little long, like almost an hour and a half, so you're welcome, patrons. If you guys want access to that as well, like I said, patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG. Chip a couple bucks in, whatever you feel like, and get access to some more of us.
Yeah. So our first topic was something that popped up on Twitter today, and it was just a random hey, it was an arena announcement, hey, here's what's going on.
Yeah.
And one of the first things was they're announcing Pioneer on Arena.
So instead of Explorer,
it's going to replace Explorer. So It is kind of the model that Magic Online used for a long time and still currently uses for Legacy, where it's yeah, we're not going to put every single Legacy legal card onto the platform, but we're going to put enough that it is Legacy. It is the Legacy metagame.
A reasonable approximation of the format.
And, if you have some pet Ice Age card that we don't have on here that you put in all of your sideboards, sorry.
Yeah.
You're the only person who wants this card.
Right.
So you're the only person who's really looking for Lord of Trestlehorn or whatever.
Reality twist,
yeah. So, there's Legacy on Magic Online that is not 100% of all the Legacy cards, but it is
most of Legacy.
Most of Legacy, or high 90s to 100% of all the playable Legacy cards. And as new cards come in that might start to stshow up in paper, or if a card shows up in paper that then makes another card in Legacy kind of pop, or if there's some interaction that people are all oh my gosh, this newly printed card makes stupid Tempest uncommon busted.
Yeah.
They'll try to put stupid Tempest uncommon onto the program.
Yeah.
So that you can play that new weird interaction or whatever.
Yeah. It's a little I understand that with Legacy it's a little bit harder to be a completionist, we'll say,
Hmm.
than it would be for like Explorer.
Agreed.
The only thing that I worry about a little bit is like there is a divergence between Paper Legacy and Magic Online Legacy as far
Hmm.
as metagame goes and brewing goes,
Yeah.
because Legacy is so hard to play in Paper, just with like people that are willing to play.
Hmm.
A lot more games get played on Magic Online. So
Yeah.
like your metagame is different, but also like if you can't experiment with the new cards to see, what you can brew around them, or like you said, like what other cards might like go up in demand because something is printed.
hmm
Like if you can't do that experimentation because it doesn't exist on the client, then you're never really given the cards a chance either.
Yeah. There was, I think the one of the more recent examples of this was like the initiative cards,
Yeah.
and there were like these rumblings, like legacy podcasts, when I used to watch more 3 bin
Mm-hmm.
uh of like, oh, like, these initiative cards are getting played in like Paper Legacy events, but they're not on Magic Online.
Yeah.
And like, so there was this like kind of groundswell of like these cards are going to be good in Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they made it to Magic Online, then everyone's like, oh yeah, they are good.
Yeah.
Right. But like,
Just broke
you
the
do
format.
have this like, yeah, you do have this like thing where in Paper people were playing these cards, and like the Magic Online grinders wanted to play the cards. They
Yeah.
had heard they were good, but weren't able to.
Mm-hmm.
So like, we're not going to have that problem on Arena with Pioneer, because any set that's going to put cards into Pioneer
Is also going to be on
is
Arena.
going to be on Arena.
Yeah.
Right? I can't imagine them like making a set and then being like, yeah, it doesn't go on Arena.
Yeah.
Right? So I think in that regard, we are fine. But the other thing, which is, hey, new card comes out and makes other card good.
Hidden
Right?
strings.
Like, the hidden strings
Yep.
effect, right? Like,
Yep.
no one had played hidden strings and there was Lotus Field, then we had to play hidden strings.
Right.
Right? Or what have you, right? Heliod, was it Heliod Suncrown? Is that the 3 mana one? I think it's,
Yeah, maybe.
and then Walking Ballista. Not that Walking Ballista wasn't being played, but like Walking Ballista went from a played card to like a banned combo piece.
Yeah.
Right? So, right, like it just changed the value of that card,
Mm-hmm.
like rather substantially. So, like I think we're gonna have those problems where there are like cards that, a new card comes out and it changes kind of what can happen, or
Yeah.
like what other, so kind of like the whole World Spide Worm and Xenagos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that deck won the Pro Tour, but you couldn't play it on Arena
Right.
because Xenagos wasn't there.
Yep.
So it's like, well, that's awkward. Like, I just watched this event. I wish I could play that deck that won. And it's like, you have to play some like nerfed
Mm-hmm.
version of it because we don't have that card.
Yeah.
I think that will pop up from time to time. And there may just be some drunk people at the wheel.
Well, hang on. Before we get into that,
Okay.
I had a couple more things I wanted to talk about with like this announcement before we get
Okay.
into the cards. The first is like when you, because I didn't see this announcement, and when you had told me about it, like the first thought that I had was, I wonder like if this gives them an opportunity to put resources somewhere else. Like if there was somebody who's just been feverishly coding cards into Arena to get Explorer more or less equal to Pioneer, does that free up that person now?
I mean, it might just be like, hey, you don't need to do this anymore. We are at
can
95%.
Can we start working towards Modern on Arena?
Just chain this guy to his. I mean, in a like non, it's snarky, but I think true. We already have Modern Horizons 3.
Right.
And that's like the best deck in the format.
Mhm.
And like I don't think we're that far from modern.
Right.
Like in a real, like honest and real sense.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, like
Yeah.
they went through Explorer and came up with 300 cards that were in Explorer Horizons or whatever to like make it a facsimile of the format. And I know Modern's obviously a lot larger format, but could they have 2 maybe sets of modern analog Horizons or anthology or whatever you want to call it to like get us to a reasonable facsimile of what Modern looks like?
I think you could probably do that. I mean, just looking at like, see if we look at cards here. Would Popular do it? Here we go. And let's look in Modern real quick. So what are the most popular cards in Modern? Consigned to, wow. The most played card in Modern is Consigned to Memory.
Oh, okay.
40, well, yeah, it is 40% of decks play Consigned. Anyway, Consigned to Memory, Modern Horizons 2.
Yep.
Flage, Modern Horizons 2. Wear Tear, I think, is already on the client.
I think so.
Dismember, not on the client, but like I don't. Like, we already have Phyrexian Mana.
I thought it was.
Maybe it is. I don't know. Let me click on it. Is it like? I don't know.
I thought it was on there. I thought it was one of the special guests or whatever.
It might. Oh no! It was. It was a special guest for something. Found. Yeah. No, it's on there. Orum. Ragavan's on there already.
Yeah.
Orum's Chant. Was it a special guest? Oh no, it's on Modern Horizons 3, so it's on there. Wrath of the Skies on there. Galvanic Discharge, Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride. Now, granted, it is like Boros Energy.
Yeah.
But like every top overall card is on there. The top creatures. The top creatures are all on there. I'm not sure about Obsidian Sharma. That's the only one I'm not sure about.
Yeah, I don't know if that one's on there or not.
But everything else. Voice of Victory is the 8th most played creature.
Wow.
Crazy. Top spells. We don't have Molten Rain, I don't think.
No, I don't think we do.
Yeah, I don't think we have Molten Rain. That's the only one of the top spells we're missing. And then I think we have all the fetches.
Yeah, we definitely have all the fetches.
So like I think we have every we have the top played cards. The top 10 cards in the format.
Yeah.
Are already on yeah, like it's like I'm just kind of like scrolling down and it's like, yeah, I think we have like the creatures. I think all the top played creatures are already on Arena.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you could do it. I almost feel like you should do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like it is a way to maybe pull more people. Like, you know, you're like, I've said this before, I don't know how committed they are to like Magic Online like long term.
Well, they've already handed it off, right?
Yeah. So like, you know, bring Modern over here.
Mm-hmm.
Like Modern could maybe take 2 years realistically if they like were like, we're gonna do this.
Well, I mean, it's in their best interest to bring it over because
it is.
They get to sell wild cards.
Yes, they get to sell more cards. Because like the only thing is like how many people you're gonna get to transition from Magic Online to Arena.
I mean, do you need to though?
You might not. You might just be able to like keep the arena people arenaing, and now they just have a new thing to play.
Right. A new thing to spend their wild cards on.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. But yeah, I think that like a lot of Modern's already on Arena.
Yeah.
And when they print like Modern Horizons 4, when they're printing like, 1-mana 4/4s with upside, right? Then it'll just be like, okay, like yeah, we have to like
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be 4/3, so you can still bolt them.
Sure.
But just everything is everything's a vexing devil.
Right.
But it just doesn't like you just can't kill it. Like it just like it just here's your 4/3.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah, so I could maybe see it happening. Like it makes sense to happen.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we can get into cards now. That was
your thing. Okay. So, don't have the much faith in who is picking the cards to put on the program.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe they'd only put like Soul Sisters and Enchantress as the only modern decks you could play. So they're like, to finalize this change, we are also adding 11 new to Magic to MTG Arena cards to the game. These choices were informed by the top decks from Magic Online and our Arena Championship players. These cards will be available for crafting and as rewards from our limited time Pioneer Showcase event.
Okay.
The new cards are Battle at the Bridge.
I've seen Battle at the Bridge.
Point out, in Aether Revolt standard.
Yeah.
Borborygmos Enraged.
A card I've also seen unironically played.
Yes. In Modern, one of the best Pithing Needle scummings of all time.
Absolutely.
Encroaching Waste.
That's a land that blows up lands, right?
4 mana, destroy target non-basic land.
Oh, okay.
Tap, sack, destroy target non-basic land.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like the super.
Oh, I played this card.
In Jund, like a million years ago?
No, in Standard.
Okay.
It had a was it Ember something from Theros? It like monstrous and blew up a bunch of lands.
Okay.
And I played Demolish and Bramble Crush and Encroaching Wastes. Played Standard Land Destruction.
When I first came back to Magic, I played Standard Land Destruction as well. I just went like,
yeah,
like it was like 1995. I was like, this was good.
Yeah, I played. We had Elvish Mystic at the time and Xenagos the Planeswalker, and I would just ramp into land destruction and stone rain people into oblivion.
Nice.
It was the first time I ever saw Glenn go off the deep end when I blew up his lands. I was not happy about that.
No. Cuzzle's Toll Collector, it's a 3 mana 3/2 that like lets you equip to it for 0.
Yeah.
Magmatic Insight, the 1 mana discard a land, draw 2 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Nissa's Defeat, the green hate card. That's like blow up a forest, a green enchantment, or green planeswalker. And then if you blow up a Nissa, you get to draw a card. Rakdos Charm, a reasonable Magic card.
Yep.
Roast.
Now that we have better roast.
Now we have better roast on a dragon. Sanctum of Ugin.
Okay.
This I can get behind for some shenanigans with like Metalwork Colossus.
Sure.
Triton Shore Stalker, a 1 mana, a blue for a 1/1 unblockable.
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
And then Warping Whale.
Yeah, Warping Whale I can kind of get also.
Kinda. Now, we are not just poo-pooing these cards without doing research. If you listen to the pre-show, I went through Goldfish.
Yep.
And you went through like MTG Top 8.
Top 8.
And I think out of all these cards, Warping Whale appeared as the only card that has seen any play in the last like 30 days.
Yeah.
And it's in the sideboard of Token Control. It was a 2 of in the sideboard of Token Control. That is all. That is it.
all.
That is all. So I am unsure why these were the cards picked.
Yeah.
When whatever that like molten whatever the enchantment that lets you discard lands to
Molten
like deal
Vortex.
damage. I think it's Molten Vortex. Yeah. That like you told me to play in like the cycling deck, and then I can't play it because
Right.
it's not on Arena. And like Angel of Serenity has like seen play in like I think there are some decks that I was playing that like Angel of Serenity was a card that was in the sideboard.
Yeah.
We don't have that. So I'm not sure like why all of these cards that are not played are like the cards that they're like,
Oh yeah, these should be
welcome
on Arena.
welcome to Pioneer, everyone. Like, here are the cards that you like want.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they had a list of like the 100 most played cards, and I don't know if they got all 100 or whatever.
Yeah.
So like,
We got
fill
Nissa's
in the ones
defeat,
that are
though.
missing. You got Nissa's defeat. Like, I don't know, is that tech to try to beat Mono Green, a deck that's like not super good anymore?
Yeah, like I almost wonder how out of date their information is that they're
Yeah, like how.
like,
Like,
did they
when they
finalize
were,
this
like-
list before they released Strictly Better Roast?
Maybe like, because that makes sense.
Yeah.
That like there was definitely a time where I was like, man, like I wish there was roast. Like I need a way to kill a Shieldred. Why isn't there a roast?
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, yeah, like here you go. Like here's roast. Like roast was a card that killed Shieldred that got played not too like long ago when Shieldred first came out.
Yeah.
Roast saw an uptick. Yeah, and then like so yeah, I don't know how long it takes them to go from like here are the cards we want. Because like was Battle of the Bridge played 3 months ago?
I don't know when it was played.
You know what I mean?
I remember seeing it in a couple lists though.
So yeah, like maybe it's like just it's like we were looking in the last 30 days and like they were getting their information from 60 or 90 days ago.
Yeah, or longer.
But yeah, but like it can't take that long to like put a card in Arena.
Well, it might not take that long to just put a card in Arena, but it might take that long to gather the data, get it approved, put the project plan together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how long corporate bureaucracy takes.
I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe it's just like it's a long lead time, but it just feels like, hey, when we're programming Final Fantasy and like we're gonna add 7 cards like a month before.
Yeah.
But maybe I don't know if I believe, based on how some stuff works, that they actually playtest a whole lot in terms of like,
right.
Does this work actually function on Arena?
Yep.
But like maybe there's like a month of playtest, so they had to like program this card in
maybe
3 months. They had to pick it 3 months ago, program it in 2 months ago,
make sure it works.
and then they've been like make sure it works, and now they're like kind of on to the next thing. Like okay, like because maybe it was like in the batch with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And like okay, all these cards work. Now we're on to printing or programming whatever the next set is in the fall.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's their cadence, but it just feels super weird that you go through like 2 different websites that like track like cards that get played.
Yeah.
And none of them like 1 of the 10 appears. So like a 9% hit rate.
I mean, maybe they're getting ready for something that's coming next also. Like
Maybe.
Other than Roast, they're kind of weird cards. Like Kazul Tool Collector obviously has a use. You know what I mean? Like if there's some giant equipment that they think is going to be popular in Explorer in like Final Fantasy or whatever, they want to make sure that card's already on the client first.
I guess the Buster Sword, like that has to be it,
Yeah,
right?
probably.
Yeah, like I could see where some of it is like seeded.
Yeah.
Where they're like, well, we're gonna have Colossus Hammer and the Buster Sword.
Yeah.
So now there's gonna be 2 things. So now we're gonna have to like make the the Pioneer Hammer Time deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see some of it being plants, but it's just like based on MTGO results. None of these cards show up in MTGO results. Like,
Right.
what secret version of a Magic Online were you guys like playing? I don't understand.
Maybe somebody clicked the free play rooms instead of the tournament results.
Exactly. So yeah, that was a little awkward. Okay. So we want to try to build a deck.
Yeah. Let's move some stuff around here.
Dun, dun, dun. So we're interested in kind of arena's open. We're interested. Oh, we're already in there. In Kheru Goldkeeper.
Yeah.
So if you remember, that is 1 and Sultai mana, so black, green, blue for a 3/3 dragon with flying, and whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn, create a treasure token, and it has renew for 2 in Sultai. Exile this card from your graveyard, put 2 +1/+1 counters, and a flying counter on target creature. Activate this only as a sorcery. So we really care about the first ability.
Yeah, I don't care at all about the renewability. But something leaving your graveyard and making a treasure is definitely something that we care about because of Oval Chase Daredevil. 3 and a black for a 4/2 human pilot. Whenever this artifact, or whenever an artifact you control enters, you may return this card from your graveyard to your hand. So this leaves, which triggers Goldkeeper to put a treasure into play. And with that on the stack, if you have a way to get Oval Chase back into your graveyard, then you form a little loop there, right?
So like, you kind of need like a free discard outlet and some way to kind of like start your engines, as it were.
Yep. This was the one that I thought of.
Yeah, Noose Constrictor. It gets real big.
Yep.
And
then we had another one when we were talking about the
Is it Era Falconwrath? Or is that a different card? It was like a 2-mana black card that was like one that was like, or is it Olivia's Dragoons?
Oh, I think that was at Olivia's Dragoons.
Because it was like discard a card, and one's like discard a card. Yes.
Yep. Okay.
So we have our discard outlet. We have kind of effectively an infinite mana.
Yep.
Like, you get an infinitely large Noose Constrictor. You get, I guess, an infinitely high
Dragoon. Yep. So do we have any other ways? Because right now the only thing that makes an artifact is this when this leaves.
Yeah.
So we need more stuff that leaves your graveyard, and also more stuff that makes artifacts.
I mean, there is like you Cat Oven, but then that just feels like you're like bad, like Rakdos or Jun Sack.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like Cat Oven, Cat Oven kind of does that.
I mean, maybe just Oven, because you can sack anything to Oven to start your chain, right?
Yeah, but it kind of seems silly to like have Oven and not Cat. You know what I mean? When Cat gives you the artifact for,
yeah,
like when it gives you the trigger to get it out. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong, but like, it just seems like those two things go together so well.
Yeah.
And then like, there's not a black fling in Standard, is there?
I don't think so.
Because like, it'd be nice if you could like win with Noose Constrictor without having to attack with it.
Yeah. The sellsword is technically black, but not the part that we want.
And then what was I was just thinking, like, what is the So like then you have things like, oh, I think we talked about insidious roots
Oh yeah,
as
yeah.
like another thing to like pay you off
Things leaving the graveyard.
things leaving your graveyard, and like then you just get you get an infinite number of infinitely large plants
Yep.
doing this.
Well,
Um,
I think that leans us heavier into cat oven because right now the only thing we have leaving the graveyard is the daredevil if we don't include cat oven.
yeah, the way that the roots decks typically have stuff leaving the graveyard is they play
Rubble
and
bout.
again like I think they play it Tyvar and Rebel Bout, right? They
Oh,
play
Tyvar is
like
good. I like Tyvar.
right like they play Tyvar with like Priest of the Forgotten Gods in the guy that Forsaken Miner.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you target with the priest, which then like triggers the miners, which then if you
Yeah.
had like activated a priest before, you like have this loop.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah, I don't. But like, then are we just like
Bad
the
version of
roots
that deck.
deck,
Yeah.
the bad version of that deck, where like
Well, I don't mind the
we
roots.
no, I agree.
And I kind of like
Um,
the cat oven also. And the Tyvar just kind of brings the room together.
it does. Oops, did I spell it wrong? Okay, almost got it. Um, I was trying to figure this. If is there a way to win when the artifact comes into play or leaves?
Oh, I thought there was, wasn't there?
I don't know. Like, there's in like modern, there's like the Mirkwood bats, and then there is the oh gosh, the marionette thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there is like a hey when this when an artifact comes in do thing
That would
or
probably
like
be in
deal a
black.
damage. Yes, that was what I was thinking as well. Um, so like I'm just scrolling through for artifact enters, which I guess eliminates artifact leaving, but just artifact enters.
Pack Doll
Um,
Terror?
oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah. It's 4 mana, but
Yeah, but like it does give you a way to win
yeah.
with
Do we have any way to get it?
I it's um for 5 mana there's big the big trinket mage, like the one with the guitar. Is like get a 4 or 5 mana artifact,
Yeah, but we're
but
not.
that'd be like the
Oh, I
only
guess we are
be the,
blue.
but that'd be like the only thing it could get.
Yeah.
Um, which is not like super super interesting. You're not like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, here's another like kind of synergy piece. Like it could help you find the combo, and when you are comboing off, uh, it could be somewhat useful. Sereth Steelseeker. When an artifact enters, you get to look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you put it into your hand, and if it's not, you can put it in your graveyard. Not that it kills, but it like does a
Yeah.
thing. But like again, like it's not like you don't have it's good when you are doing the thing,
Yeah.
which
We
you
don't have a
don't
lot of ways
probably
that make artifacts, though. It's like Oven and Daredevil, or Oven and Goldkeeper.
what about like um gosh, Deadly Dispute as like a
Oh
way to
yeah,
like
I
maybe
like Deadly Dispute.
sacrifice idiots early in the game that we don't need and like get through to find more stuffs.
Also makes a treasure.
Oh yeah, it gets an artifact.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wish there was like a 2 or a 3 mana like when an artifact enters or an artifact leaves, deal a damage.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't like the 4 mana one does let you like do the thing, but it's like 4 mana,
Right.
which makes it less likely to like you got to put together like 2 4 mana things. Like that just seems like
Yeah.
asking a lot. Oh wow, that's interesting. If you just put the words artifact and leaves, there are very few things that care if an artifact leaves the battlefield. Which is
Oh, I
interesting.
got one for you.
Okay.
Instead of witch oven,
Okay.
what if we do scrounger?
Scrappy boy.
Yeah. And then lean into like some self mill.
Okay.
Because like Tyvar mills and Oval
It
Chase
does.
comes back out of the graveyard. So you could start part of your combo from the graveyard.
Yeah. Like on your turn, you just pay the 2 mana.
Yeah. I guess the difference is that Scrounger doesn't stabilize you the same way Quadrant like Witch Oven does. Or
Yeah, like
Cat Oven.
yeah, because you just like it can't block,
Right.
which is kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could do like what would you like want to self like you could like you're like pushing up against like being Dredger's Insight,
Yeah.
like Dredger's Insight, Grizzly Salvage kind of nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, we could also go towards like lean more into the self mill and do Bloodghast and like Seder
Prize
Wayfinder kind of stuff.
Amalgam.
Yeah, Prized
Yeah,
Amalgam.
or Cash Grab.
Yeah.
Um, that like it's one of those things that like you're just trying to fight the like okay then that like the best version of that might be then Dredge,
Yeah.
right? Like Dredgerless Dredge, and it's like how do you do this and not make yourself just like
A
you
bad
know
dredge deck or a bad
a
roots
bad
deck.
Dredge, yeah, like how do you make it a Kheru Goldkeeper deck and not just a bad version of something else?
Yeah.
And like I don't know, like, but that's just the urge to like, oh, we do that, but like, but I think if you want to self mill some, like, I think Dredger's Insight is like the best thing to do that with. It gains you life, like that would give you an infinite life loop,
Yeah.
like if it's on the battlefield, and it finds Tyvar,
Does.
and it finds any of your discard outlets,
No,
and
it
it
doesn't get
finds
Tyvar.
your. Is it
It's
permanent?
artifact, creature, or land.
Oh, but then. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought it was just permanent. Is Cash Grab permanent?
Yes, cash grab is permanent.
So like if you care about fighting like Dredger's Insight though gives you like that gives you a way to like gain infinite life,
Yeah.
which is just so much fun to click through an arena.
Right.
But
Well, hopefully your opponent scoops.
um well if you're gaining infinite life, like is there something that is
Dina.
yeah, like you can have a Dina and that's 2 mana.
Yeah.
And like not an embarrassing card at his scene place. You could like Dina, but again, it's like how do you find it? Like it's just milling yourself into it and then
Right.
picking it up with.
Well, Tyvar, like it's one of the
Tyvar,
few things that Tyvar can get in this deck.
because is Tyvar Does it 2 power?
Mana value.
Mana value? Okay.
Yeah. So it can get you like whatever your discard outlet is.
Or Dina.
Or Dina.
And like
or
you
a
don't
cat,
need,
I guess.
Or a cat, but you don't need Oval Chase. You're fine with Oval Chase being in the graveyard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Dina could work.
So you want to do...
Like,
do we want to get rid of roots? And lean in towards like a different kind of combo?
I guess we are at like 60 cards already.
Yeah, because like roots doesn't do anything by itself.
True. Yeah, we can maybe get rid of it. I'm still like scrolling through, like, are there like things that key on tokens entering the battlefield or leaving the battlefield? Right, it would be nice if there was something that's like, oh, when you get a token, drain one or whatever, so that you can like have a what's it called? You can have like some way to like kill.
Yeah.
You know, ideally like Dredger's Insight would do that. You know what I mean? It's like where it's like helping you set up your combo.
Yeah.
But then also like paying you off for it. But I don't think there is anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know that there is. This is where we need our Magic Thesaurus.
We do. Like, hey, here's this card that's legal in Modern. Is there like a what's it called? Is there a version of it in Pioneer? Like, is there something that is close? In terms of things that make artifacts, there's Prosperous Innkeeper. Like, kind of ramps
it's another
you.
way to gain life.
It is another way to gain life. I don't know, like, what you would, like, loop with Dina, but it would be...
Well, okay, so we're gonna kill the Pack-Doll Terror, right?
Probably,
Too
because that's
hard to
probably
make
just not
happen.
good enough. Yeah, like,
how
we don't
many-
have any way to get it.
Yeah, how many Dinas do you think we want? And if we want Dina, we were going to go up to 4 Dredger's Insights.
Probably. So, okay, this combo does get you infinite mana. Right?
How do you
Because
get
every
mana?
time it makes a treasure.
Oh, yeah, it does.
So, like, we don't... I got it. Gosh. The like X green it's what Finale of Devastation. It lets you go get your pieces, and then it gives you a place to put your infinite mana.
Yeah.
So, like, it would kind of do both. It sets up your combo and is then your payoff.
Okay.
The problem, we can't, like, mill to get it.
Right.
But it does kind of let you do both halves of what you want to do.
So are we on Finale over Tyvar?
Because, like I said, what Tyvar just helps us fill the graveyard to put, like... But, like, if we have Oval Chase Daredevil already, we just hopefully have a discard outlet.
Yeah.
If we have... see, we could maybe get rid of that.
So Finale gets you any piece you need.
Gets you any piece, and then it's also a payoff.
Yep.
With all your mana, because then you just get whatever idiot you need to get. What?
And if we're not on roots anymore, I guess Cauldron Familiar Oven still, like, they still get your engine started.
Gives you mana for the Gold Keeper.
Yeah. Is there something that lets you sacrifice to make a different kind of artifact? Like, is there a thing that, like, lets you sacrifice something to make a blood token, or sacrifice something to make, like, a 1/1?
There is. There was like a thing. It's like it was some like janky build around from one of the Phyrexia sets. It was like you like if you made a blood, you could make one of like every token. It was an artifact. And then like if you had Exodia, you got like something.
Transmutation font?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
But
5
like,
mana.
Yeah, that is. What were you thinking for that? Just
Well, just as something to do instead of Cat Oven. Because, like, Cat Oven's 8 slots and, like, a whole nother combo on top of what you're already trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there was something we could streamline there.
There were the two. There was Pitiless Plunderer, right?
When something
and then there was
dies,
another...
make a treasure.
Yeah,
That's
but then there was
4
another
mana.
thing.
Oh, Voldaran Bloodcaster. Whenever this or another non-token creature you control dies, make a blood.
Okay.
That's a 2 mana.
But what's dying? Other if we don't have Cat Oven.
True.
But there was Pitiless Plunderer, and then there's another Ixalan Pirate. That was like a $10 uncommon.
The only one that's coming to mind is Sailor Amines, but that wasn't.
No. It's here. So it's like here. Was it Rivals? Here, I know it was an uncommon because it's like in my cube, so I know. So it wasn't Pitiless Plunderer. So it must have been from.
Like you said,
others.
though, without something dying, what's dying to trigger it? Without Cat Oven.
Well, it wasn't Pitiless. Okay. Okay. No, so there's Ruthless Knave. And I knew it cared about treasures and stuff. So I was like, is there like a thing that cares about treasures? And no, it's like sack a creature, get 2 treasures.
Yeah.
So we don't need none of that. But I was like, is there like a thing that like cares about like sack treasures do thing? Right, like just like is there a thing like, hey, if you have a bunch of treasures, you get to win the game.
There's Freebooter and Shambling Ghast that both make a treasure when they die.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Deadly Dispute.
Yeah. Undercity Scrounger taps to make a treasure. Oh, what about Revel in Riches? It's 5.
Yeah, but then you have to
mana.
play. You have to play Revel in Riches. What about Skullport Merchant?
That
it is
when it enters, make a treasure, sacrifice. Oh yeah.
So like, you make all these treasures.
Yeah.
Then you get to draw your deck.
Yeah.
And as you draw your deck, you would find Finale Devastation,
which you can then use to make your nerds big.
Yeah, you just like go get anything and kill them.
Yeah.
So like that's a way to at least use the treasures that that you're generating.
Yeah.
So, right, you're like, so, dear listener, thinking about this, right? The thought process is, what can we, what are we generating?
Hmm.
Right, once we get our engine set up, what are we doing? We're making a bunch of treasures. How can we then use those treasures or use the like loop that we've set up to win the game?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, well, we have all these treasures, how can we use them? And it's like, well, ideally something would come into like you would make a treasure or make an artifact and like deal a damage. Right? Like we need Reckless Stormweaver
Yeah.
but black.
Yeah.
Right? But we don't have Reckless Stormweaver but black.
Or Disciple of the Vault.
Yes, or whatever the marionette like apprentice.
Yeah. But not
Right, we need something like that.
6 mana.
Well, no, that's the big one, the little one for Modern Horizons 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But like, we need something like that where like it's this like piece that is like non-offensive,
Yeah.
but still kind of lets you win the game when you're doing the thing. And then how are we gonna put all that together? Now, the another issue to think about here is we don't super have like any interaction.
Oh, we have absolutely zero interaction so far.
None. Like you gotta really hope that News Constrictor can really like get his
Hold the
block
fort.
on. Can hold the fort.
Yeah.
And I mean, we might not need all of the Olivia's dragoon. Yeah, Olivia's dragoons, right? We might not need the full 4.
Well, I was just looking for something else that lets you discard, because that card's kind of embarrassing on its own.
It is. It is. Is there a blue one that lets you just like discard?
I don't know. Champion of Wits. It doesn't. I mean, it's not the engine, but
Yeah, it's not like a repeatable doodad. You would think that you would I just had a thought.
what's that?
I guess it's like limited to once per turn. Um, uh, the monument. Oh gosh, monument to endurance.
Which one
It
is
only
that?
does it 3. It's the 3 mana. Like whenever you discard a card, do like dome them
Oh,
for
the
3,
thing
draw
from
a card.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's like a thing that like pays you off for discarding, and like will win the game at some point with you doing it.
Yeah.
But like you kind of have to like pass the turn,
Right.
and then you can't like loop it on their turn,
Right.
which boo.
Well, I mean, we also have 0 3-drops.
None.
None.
Because like I saw Drakehaven,
Yeah.
and like Drakehaven, I was like, oh well, you would like make the mana, but like Drakehaven does like literal nothing.
Right.
At least this is an artifact that does literal nothing.
Yeah. You mean on its own it does nothing?
Yeah, I mean it could in theory get your combo started.
I mean, you got doesn't really help, but you have Skyray.
Yeah, I mean, but it kind of does
Yeah.
what Noose Constrictor does,
But worse.
right? Like what once you're going,
Yeah.
it like wins you the game. But like you said, how do we get? What are things that kind of do both? Like
Yeah.
help you get going and win you the game, which like Noose Constrictor does both, right? It
Yeah.
like lets you discard and then like gets big. Like if they don't have a creature out or not a removal spell, you just get to like make it massive,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to win. But yeah, there's not like a like just like another like 0 mana discard outlet. They don't give us many of those.
Yeah.
With good reason, because like shenanigans.
Right.
Shenanigans. Yeah, so like I feel like the Noose Constrictor and then like Oval Chase Daredevil. You want to like we could Haunted Dead for this.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking, like this or Haunted Dead, like one of the two.
Just like a couple as like a way to like get the card into your graveyard.
Well, yeah, number one, it gets a card in your graveyard. It can also like get you a Goldkeeper trigger.
Oh, good point. Good point. Like you like kind of have it set. You could
Because right now, the only
like
thing, like if we ditch Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven, the only thing we have coming out of the graveyard is a Daredevil.
fair. Yeah, I think like a couple Haunted Dead would probably be
You want Haunted
reasonable.
Dead over
Like
Stitchwing Scab?
just because like Haunted Dead like gives you the extra body
Yeah.
and like we're basically black green splashing Goldkeeper
Yeah.
as opposed to like so to like limit the blue.
Okay.
Um yeah, I would like it would be way better if there was like a thing that did. Okay, it's not a great card. I'm just like looking for things that say discard. But what about like Awaken the Honored Dead? It is um interaction.
Mm-hmm.
It then mills cards, and then it lets you pull something out of your graveyard. Right? Like
Yeah.
for a deck that has no interaction, this at least gives us like interaction and kind of can help like you could spike pieces.
Yeah. How many you
Um
think? Two?
yeah, we could do two. Like unless like we want to like really lean into that. Unfortunately, Bloodthorn Flail requires a creature to put itself on, so you can't like
Yeah.
you don't know if you're gonna be able to like equip it. Um, huh.
That's really our only interaction.
Yeah. Um, how does this work? So remember Call of the Bloodline? I'm just like looking at cards that say discard,
Yeah.
right? So if the thing comes, so if you get something out of your graveyard, you get your treasure, it comes back, and it generates a treasure. So if you had one treasure,
Mm-hmm.
you could pay the one to call the bloodline to discard the guy, make a 1/1. So it's kind of I guess it's kind of like Roots, but it like lets you discard.
But you can only activate it once a turn.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I read the first part and then like stopped. Thank you, old Magic cards.
Yep.
Um. Hmm. This is more difficult than I was planning.
I know.
I was like, oh, this will be super easy. Haha. Yeah, it's just like trying to figure out that thing that is like enabler and payoff, or like card that is a payoff that is like good enough on its own.
Yeah.
But like, do we need Dredger's Insight if we're using like Finale of Devastation to put together pieces?
Well, then we're not on the Dina plan anymore.
Oh yeah, yeah, like, but should we be like? Would it be better to just be in on Finale of Devastation?
Maybe.
Like, do we? And I guess how do we find Finale?
You
Right?
don't.
Would this be like, or is it like, is this where like Skullport Merchant is using the treasures to draw cards. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like
Demonic Council, but we don't really turn on Delirium.
we do not.
Diabolic Intent, but we don't have a ton of nerds to sacrifice.
Yeah, we don't have a bunch of just like fodder. It's so bad. Like I'm not like really reading cards as I'm scrolling through. I'm just like looking at pictures and being like, I remember that card. That doesn't do what I want to do.
Wishclaw Talisman.
Maybe.
I think Grim Tutor's too slow.
Yeah, like Wishclaw, you like kind of have to do it. What if you leaned into like the 3 colors that had like Fae of Wishes?
Yeah, get it on
and
your
then you
board
could just
instead.
Like Fae for it. Like Fae lets you discard cards.
Yeah.
To like buy it back.
Yeah.
Like it'd be slow.
Yeah, I think you need to go up on what you call it? Interaction if you're gonna be that slow.
True.
And then you're like back into self mill.
Yeah, which you probably don't want to be. Like I like the finale idea because it like helps you set up and then like lets you like win once you have infinite mana.
Yeah.
Like this is where like we need Walking Ballista.
Right.
You're just like, hey, here's the thing, I'm doing the thing. Cool. But
is there a way to draw your deck with infinite mana and then you can win with Thoracle?
I mean, Skullport Merchant, because it like sacrifices the treasures.
Yeah.
To then draw your deck. I mean, the Thoracle idea is interesting. Like you just have like the 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could use Finale to like find your pieces and also like could win you the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just have Thoracle if you like can get the other card, and like Skullport Merchant makes a treasure to like start your thing. Start your thing. That's really good. To like start your like combo.
Yeah.
So it kind of pulls double duty where it's like a payoff and kind of like enables things. So we could like ditch like the cat oven stuff for like interaction.
We got 5 slots if we want to stick with 24 lands.
Which we probably should. I mean, we're a black deck, so like it feels like you either have to like put Thoughtseize or Fatal Push in your deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, good job. We did not go with that art. I will say, they are doing a thing now where like, let's say you have like 3 cards from one set and then 1 card from another.
Yeah.
They'll let you put all of the same matching card in your
good.
Deck. I think that's how I read it. Is how it read.
And then a Fatal Push, or do you want some other kind of removal?
We could Fatal Push. Like, do we? I guess in this, if we're doing this and we're not self-milling as much, do we need the Awaken the Honored Dead? And like, or could that be different removal?
It could be different removal.
So like, it could just be that could be like Fatal Pushes, like your Fatal Push, like Bitter Reunion or Bitter Triumph, kind of like slot where it like does something.
Something like that.
Yeah, like that.
Push and a Triumph.
Yeah, just so there's something.
Yeah.
And then whatever collection of rare lands you wish to play in the
Yeah, I wasn't even really worried about the mana
yeah
base. 'Cause-
yeah, that's what I mean. Just like whatever collection of like things you want to play there.
well, I mean, to that point though, you might want to play the surveil lands.
Mm-hmm. At least a couple.
Yeah, they kind of serve double duty in this deck.
Yeah, like if we were heavier blue, like I don't know if like Tainted Indulgence. I just saw the card. I was like, oh yeah, like that like draws and discards. But we only really want one thing in the graveyard. We just want like
Yeah.
Oval Chase Daredevil. I'm like mousing over the cards in your arena as if it is going to like make them big. Real good, everyone.
That doesn't help.
So yeah, so like it's just trying to like figure out like what cards are gonna enable us, what cards we can use as payoffs or enablers, like
Yeah.
because there's not like infinite slots where you can do stuff. Like the combo is kind of Gold Keeper, Oval Chase, and then probably Noose Constrictor as this card outlet.
Yeah.
Because you just need some way to get that artifact to get the whole thing started.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's a thing.
Yeah, we got a few ways to get the chain started.
So
yeah, something along those lines I think is a reasonable place to start.
Yeah.
I feel like we're missing a piece to pull you in a direction,
Probably.
like for guidance.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, it's like there's not. It's like almost like that piece isn't here.
Yeah.
Like isn't like printed yet.
Yeah.
So. All right. So with that, I think we got a deck.
We got a deck. I don't.
And I think we got a
I don't
show.
think it's quite ready for prime time, but there's a deck.
Probably not. There's something.
Yeah.
So if you have show ideas or you want to say hey, reach out on social media: Facebook, Discord, Twitter, X, all that jazz. Email, Blue Sky, all those links in the description. Say hey.
Yeah, hit us up. Let us know what you want to hear about. If you want to support the show, there's a couple ways you can do it. The first is with our TCG player affiliate link, CasualTryHard.com/TCG. Do your shop and support the show at the same time. The second is through Patreon. Chip a couple bucks in at patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG. Check out our show notes, listen to the Unshow, and support your favorite podcast.
Yeah. So with that, we'll catch you on the internet.
We'll catch you on the internets.